The top 10 most dangerous places in the world. If you start traveling the world today, chances are that you will spend your whole life discovering and going to new places. With so many beautiful locations and breathtaking sights that this world has to offer, what most people don't realize is that there are also tons of places where your life is in danger the minute you step in. From violent gangs to lethally high temperatures, if you're fond of traveling, here's a list of the top 10 most dangerous places in the world that are definitely not for the faint-hearted. Number 1. Snake Island, Brazil. Now, Brazil is one of the most iconic tourist locations in the whole world. The country has some of the most beautiful beaches and forests, along with its colorful culture that makes it a top destination for international travelers, where you can take a few days to escape from the rest of the world. But don't be fooled, because as beautiful as Brazil may be, the country definitely isn't all that safe. In fact, Snake Island, that's hidden off the coast of Brazil, is regarded as one of the most dangerous places to visit in the whole world, where tourists can't even step foot without being bitten by a poisonous snake. According to Brazilian locals, every 5 square meters of the island is covered with snakes, making it impossible for people to come out alive if they ever dare to go inside. The locals also believe that all of these snakes were actually left on the island by pirates who wanted to protect their gold thousands of years ago. And if that wasn't enough, the island is also home to Bothrops atrox, a snake that's notorious for being extremely poisonous and killing humans with just one bite. Considering all this, the Brazilian government has officially made it illegal for the locals and tourists to ever go to Snake Island. And let's just say that the decision comes with good reason. Number 2. Mount Washington, USA. Mountain climbing is a pretty famous activity for tourists and locals all over the world. There's just something so thrilling about conquering a peak that reaches into the sky. But at the same time, it's important to remember that not every peak is made to be conquered, especially when it comes to Mount Washington in the USA. But here's the funny part. Mount Washington is actually pretty meek when you compare it to other mountains in the world. But despite its small height of just 6,288 feet, the strong winds and freezing temperatures on the peak make it impossible for anyone to stay there more than a few minutes. The highest wind velocity ever recorded at any surface weather station was logged here on April 12, 1934. Almost 150 fatalities have occurred on the mountain since 1849, and almost all of them have occurred due to hypothermia, even in the summer. And if that doesn't tell you how cold and fatal Mount Washington is, I don't know what will. Number 3. Lake Natron, Tanzania. Feel like taking a dip in the lake? Well, make sure that the lake isn't called Natron. Lake Natron in Tanzania is one of the most inhospitable places in the whole world. But why? I mean, how dangerous can a lake actually be, right? Well, let's just say that for humans, Lake Natron is nothing less than a pit of fire that can melt your entire body into absolutely nothing. True to its name, the lake contains high levels of natron, or sodium carbonate dihydrate, which is corrosive to human skin and eyes. And not only does the lake feel like a fire pit, it also looks like one because of its red hue that's present due to the tons of cyanobacteria, which are the only living organisms that can actually bear all the chemicals that are present in this toxic lake. Number 4. North Yungas Road, Bolivia. The North Yungas is definitely a road less traveled. Why? Well, only because it has the ability to kill anyone who dares to cross it. And no, I'm not talking about some witch's curse. The reason why this road, connecting Bolivia's capital La Paz to Corico, has taken the lives of so many travelers is because of the fact that it's home to fog, landslides, cascades, and cliffs that drop 2,000 feet at every turn, which obviously makes crossing this road a pretty hard job. This combined with the fact that the road is no wider than 10 feet. The entire length of the road is full of crosses to commemorate the countless people that have died during their journeys. Even today, workers and backpackers lose their lives every year trying to take on the North Yungas. Number 5. Oymyakon Village, Russia. Oymyakon is a small village tucked away in Russia. However, I would strongly advise you not to pick this as your tourist spot because the climate in Oymyakon is enough to make even the strongest of men suffer in agony. The small town has a population of only 500 people. It is widely regarded as the coldest inhabited town in the world. The temperature in this icy town has been recorded as low as -58 degrees Celsius, which no human has ever known to survive. During the winter, there can be no light in the town for up to 21 hours. And if that wasn't bad enough, there's always the constant threat of frostbite or your eyelashes freezing off, which is why not even the most daring of travelers can ever stay in this place for long, all thanks to the village's extreme temperature. However, 500 brave people have still managed to make this place their home, but their lives are hardly enjoyable considering the fact it's too cold for phones to work or any kind of crops to grow here. Number 6. Danakil Desert, Ethiopia. Even though the Danakil Desert is a huge tourist attraction due to its almost Martian landscape, this huge volcanic wasteland is one of the most lifeless places on Earth. The Danakil Desert is one of the most uninhabitable places on Earth, to the point where you can't even spend more than a few minutes here. From its lakes full of sulfuric acid and oil and its toxic air. Yes, the air is almost unbreathable due to the lack of oxygen. The air here is burnt and filled with poisonous gases, so people can only be in certain areas of the desert for a very short time without putting their lives at risk. Many researchers believe that even a short stay in the Danakil Desert can have permanent effects on health, and in worst cases, it might even end up killing you. And if that isn't enough to steer you clear of this place, there's always the constant threat of volcanic eruptions to scare you away. Number 7. The Gates of Hell, Turkmenistan. The Gates of Hell, or the Darvaza Crater, is a fiery pit located in the Karakum Desert. This molten gas pit has been spewing fire for several decades, and it's safe to say that when you see it, it looks like something straight out of an Armageddon movie. Here's how the story goes. In 1971, Soviet geologists were drilling for oil when they accidentally hit a pocket of natural gas, creating a massive sinkhole. In order to stop methane from leaking into the atmosphere and causing an environmental catastrophe, the scientists lit it on fire, thinking it would burn out the gas in a matter of weeks. But their calculations were far off, since the pit is still burning in all its blazing glory to this day. The surrounding area is constantly facing gas explosions in addition to all the fires, which is why the locals have started referring to the area as the door to hell. The tourists, however, find all this fascinating and make their way to the pit of fire from all over the world. The fire pit has been burning non-stop for decades now, and scientists think it will continue burning for many decades to come. Number 8. North Sentinel Islands, Andaman Islands. The Andaman Islands are pretty great for anyone who wants to escape the fast life of the city and take a break in front of the great blue ocean. However, if there's one place you should definitely avoid, it's the North Sentinel Island, which is considered to be one of the most dangerous places in the world. But the island is also pretty fascinating, to say the least. The truth is that the North Sentinel Island is located in a place that's not really accessible to a lot of people, which is why the island has never been touched by any outsiders, and the locals have never had any contact with the outside world. They have their own customs and traditions which have not been affected by anything that goes on in the rest of the world, which is why people believe if anyone ever sets foot on the island, the natives might see them as a threat and try to attack them. Another reason why the government discourages people from going to the island is the fact that the natives have no immunity and are completely vulnerable to any disease that visitors might carry. Number 9. Skeleton Coast, Namibia. The Skeleton Coast is as close to the end of the earth as humans can get. Located on the northern half of Namibia's coastline, the Skeleton Coast is home to, well, you guessed it, skeletons. While the land goes on for miles, the entire coast is completely uninhabited because of all the mystery that surrounds the land. The entire coast is full of skeletons and dead bodies of animals that have gone there and died because of the land's extreme climate, the hot winds, and complete absence of water. The only humans that are present there are violent gangs that increase the overall threat of going to this place, however beautiful it may look. Number 10. Bermuda Triangle, North Atlantic. The Bermuda Triangle is a mystery that no one has been able to solve to this day. Spread across the North Atlantic, the Bermuda Triangle is an extremely specific area of land that lies between Florida, Bermuda, and Puerto Rico in the shape of a triangle. This strange little triangle part of the ocean is infamous for all the boats and planes that have suddenly disappeared while passing through it. While no one really knows the cause of these mysterious disappearances, there are tons of theories ranging from the area's strong magnetic forces to Illuminati to even aliens being responsible for everything that goes missing in the Bermuda Triangle. However, even today, what happens inside the triangle remains a mystery to everyone, mostly because nobody has ever willingly tried to enter it after all of these strange incidents. That's all we have for the top 10 most dangerous places in the world. Which one are you brave enough to visit on your next vacation? Let us know in the comments below. If you liked this video and want to see more, make sure to subscribe to the channel and give us a big thumbs up. Until next time, bye!